If the deep state takes over this world, you're going to be arrested. You're not going to have free speech.
Would you agree that there's essentially nobody in either the Congress or the Senate that would stand up to Israel?
Yeah, that is
All right,
absolutely
so
reasonable.
does that suggest perhaps that the deep state is in fact ... Israel?
The deep state, yes, is infiltrated in the Israeli government, just like it's infiltrated in the United States government. But what you're saying is that Trump is not the person, is not the strong man to stand up against that. And I absolutely oppose that.
What has he denied either Israel and or the deep state that you would think would want, I don't know, surveillance systems on everybody and injections in everyone's arm? What has he denied of theirs?
Trump doesn't propose that.
The deep state did or did not push Operation Warp Speed and a surveillance state on the United States of America and its citizenry.
Yeah, I do believe that was, I believe
that was under Donald Trump. Okay, also under Donald Trump, are we seeing the anti-Semitism?
No, Donald Trump
executive
is trying
order
to kill that. That's what I believe.
Wait, so you're suggesting that he did not sign an executive order? I think it was his first week in office combating anti-Semitism.
And you're conflating two things. You're conflating ethnicity with the deep state.
Wait, but hang on. Okay, so you've agreed on Operation Warp Speed and injecting people with lots of things that some would say would sterilize them, as well as the surveillance state are both very deep state
I didn't
oriented.
agree with any of that.
Let's see that in an instant replay.
Did or did not push Operation Warp Speed and a surveillance state on the United States of America and its citizenry?
Yeah, I do believe that was,
Executive Order 13899 with the unprecedented steps. Unprecedented. This is from the White House, January 30th. What day was the inauguration? Takes forceful and unprecedented steps to combat anti-Semitism. That's
there is
13899
anti-Semitism. There are good Jewish patriots that stand against
What
the deep
difference
state.
does that make? That you're dodging the point in a very
what do you want to do?
fashion.
You want to go pick out the Jews and kill them all like Hitler? I mean,
No,
that's
not remote. No. Now you suggest something like that again.
Go.
No. Pause. You suggest another thing like that in the space that I run, I will happily remove you from the entirety of the space. Nobody has suggested anything remotely aligned with that. And the fact that you would even throw that out there certainly seems rather subversive, because I'm sure that you would love for people on this platform, this panel, this space to agree to something nonsensical like that. No one has said anything along those lines. I'm making the argument, as I always do, that the United States of America is subverted by Israel and Jewish supremacy, as is most of the Western world. Now, who would come in here and say to a person that rather peacefully articulates that, but that we can come together to try to make the world a better place? You're coming in here, and your suggestion is that Donald Trump is the best we got because he's America first, period. Because America first is a person, it's not an ideology. Something doesn't have to actually be America first to be, quote unquote, America first. It just has to be something Donald Trump supports. So if he supports injecting himself with something that's now been shown to increase, I don't know, rates of cancer and infertility, that was America first. If he suggests stripping away your rights to the freedom of speech, well, that's America first because Donald Trump did it. Same thing with selling everybody out to Palantir, maybe to Google. Hey, we got rid of the Department of Education. Just blew that up. Let's just turn things over to Google because that'll be efficient. Doge will give it a thumbs up. And what'll that do? Just put more power in the hands of more technology companies. And guess who's at the top of all of them? Guess who co-founded Google and sits on executive board, Sun Tzu? Is that problematic? I could look at Donald Trump's inauguration, in fact. Who was next to him? Was it Zuckerberg and the rest of the Silicon Valley crew? Who are all those people a part of? Is it a specific ethnic group? Is it an ethnic minority? Are they Jews? Is that hateful for me to note? You're actually doing my side of the argument a favor, because what it does is it exposes how laughable, not only the Q piece, but this entire Donald Trump support base is. It is utterly ridiculous. You can't defend any of it. I brought up, what about bombing Iran? Literally an act of what should have been war, taken by the sitting president. They didn't even ask anybody. And then they go on Fox News, owned by Murdoch, who, according to Ryan Dawson, is a Jew. And they get Mark Levin, another Jew, to go and celebrate the strong actions of Donald Trump, just being indifferent to some of the rules and regulations around bombing another nation. But that's America first. Because now America First apparently means whatever is convenient for Donald Trump, who seems to be in bed with, literally and figuratively perhaps, with Netanyahu, and formerly with Epstein, and also with Maxwell, who were all together at various parties and events, and Maxwell was at Chelsea Clinton's wedding. Isn't that weird? Oh wait, I guess it's not, because her niece was running foreign policy for the Clinton administration. That's kind of weird. Robert Maxwell? Really? His daughter's son running foreign policy for the Middle East, for the United States of America? Yeah, that's kind of weird. That's kind of bizarre. We could play the exact same game. We could go through Biden. And who was his Secretary of State? Was it Tony Blinken, another Jew? Am I an anti-Semite for noticing that? Or the fact that his family was longtime family friends with the Maxwell family? Is that ridiculous? But these are America First policies that just made America so much worse that nobody can buy a house. They can't buy a car. They can't have a family. They can't get an education. If they do, they take out a loan, but it's not worth anything because they can't get a job. And why? Because they're importing endless migrants to the tune of millions. And why? Because they don't care about Americans, Sun Tzu. They care about destroying America. Your hero, I don't know if you're serious in your fealty to him, but your hero, Donald Trump, he is selling out America. It is that simple. And you can argue if it's for Jews or for Israel or the Greater Israel Project or any of those things. But to suggest that anything has gotten better in America is a laughable premise. And I can promise you that you can't give me a single indicator. You could even pick out, like, you could say patriotism. But I bet you we could go online and we could actually look at support for Donald Trump. Since his inauguration, it's going down. Support for him is going down. People's excitement for their future, going down. You know what's going up? Drug epidemics, drug overdoses, alcoholism, DUIs, everything else that's bad about society. Nothing's getting better. Now, please explain to me how Donald Trump, the big strong man, is making America great. Please inform us.